Welcome to PCMC Pop Culture Man Children. I'm your host, Mike Bongiorno. I'm joined today by my dear friend and yours, Mr. Vin Forte.
Vin, what's going on, PCMC Universe?
Vin, how are you? Coming in hot.
I am feeling hot. It's another scorcher.
It's another scorcher.
Yeah.
The humidity. It's the humidity that gets you.
Yeah, I used to do work on a comedy show in the city called The Special with Brett Davis, and we had Richard Kind on one week.
Yeah.
And I saw him outside when it was the middle of summer in New York City, and he's talking to someone on his cell phone, and he's like, "It's the humidity. It's heat and humidity. There's a difference." And he's like yelling at this person about the difference between heat and humidity, which is exactly the Richard Kind you want to see.
That's incredible. Did you how did you work? How close did you get to him? Did you work with him at all? And
I got to say hi to him.
That's still fun.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
He's a very nice guy. He was a sweetheart.
That's what that's what they say. I mean, he's got to be, right?
Oh, he's got it. No, if you heard how crestfallen would you be
if you were a dick?
If he were a dick, if like someone's like, "Oh, Mr. Kind, I loved you in Spin City. Get out of my face, dick."
One of the best castings of anything ever was on that Gotham show. They had him as the mayor of Gotham City, which is so smart to like have the mayor be this oblivious, well-meaning but moronic guy. Like it just
regardless of the quality of the actual show, is it fair to say that Gotham show maybe some of the best casting in the Batman in a Batman show ever?
Let me tell you, I think that show started off very strong. It kind of constantly retconned itself and went in crazy directions, but I thought that show was good in the beginning.
Well, in the beginning, you know what? It did the thing, the exact thing I didn't want it to, which is so Bruce Wayne is in it in the beginning as a kid.
Right.
And the whole thing is, his parents are gunned down, whatever, but he's in it. And as the show goes on, he becomes a bigger part of it.
Yes.
And it's like, but this show was billed what I wanted this show to be. And they didn't have to do this exact thing. But in essence, I wanted it to be a world without Batman, where it's what if you had Batman's villains, but Jim Gordon and Harvey Bullock, they have to figure out how to defeat these villains in a world without Batman.
Yeah.
Where Batman never existed.
Right. That's what I think maybe in the beginning that's kind of what they wanted, but eventually they brought in everybody. But then they would be like,
he's the Joker. He's not the Joker.
Right. And Smallville did that a lot too.
Oh yeah. By the end, Smallville, not even by the end, by like several seasons in.
It's like, is this guy Brainiac? No, it's not. Oh, maybe it is. Oh no, it's not. And they did that, like you said, they did with the Joker. On our last episode, we were talking about Scooby-Doo, and I didn't bring this up, but you and I are both, we both use the Conqueror virtual.
Yes. They have a Scooby-Doo thing on there.
I started it today, baby.
Really?
Yeah, because I was doing the 3-pack. If you don't know, Conquer app, I talked about it on the podcast before. The app is just like, it's a virtual challenge. It's distance challenge. So running, walking, cycling, whatever you want to do. I mostly walk and elliptical. They have all these really fun medals that are like really heavy, like good medals.
Oh, yeah, these are like really solid, like real medals.
Yeah. And they always have some moving part.
Yeah, like this one I have has like a center in it.
Yeah.
And you can like, it's a little clunky, but like you can take out the center and there's like an engraved little design in there. Like,
yeah, I have 2. So I did 3 Star Trek ones. And I the third one I haven't gotten yet because I just finished it yesterday. But one of them, like, it has a little Enterprise in it, but you could take the Enterprise out. Like, so there's always cool shit. Like, and then there's another one that's the Gorn, and it's like you see a ship with the Gorn in it, or with like it's got like a window in it, and like it's kind of like got this ice. It's based on a specific episode, so it's like this episode with the Gorn. But you can open up the window and see the Gorn inside. See a little Gorn guy. So anyway, I'm starting the Scooby-Doo one. I'm very excited.
Oh, I love it. I've been loving the Conqueror. I'm doing Tokyo right now.
Oh, that's awesome. You're doing the real things. I do all the stupid pop culture things.
But see,
They
when you do the real things, what you can do, you should do one of the real ones
uh-huh.
because what the app has something cool in it where you can, you know, it shows you. I don't know if it does it for the gimmick ones too, but it shows you like a
Distance?
satellite map
Yes, yes.
of
It
the
does that for
place.
the silly ones too.
Yes, but in the real ones, it can sync up. It basically like you hit a button and it turns into Google Maps,
So you
and
could
like
see like actual distance if you were
you could
really doing
see
it.
like where you are on the map if you wanted to. You could because you can check where you are on the map and it will bring you to that place in like Google Street View in the
Wow.
app,
That is
inside the
cool.
app. So like if you really wanted to, you could walk around with your phone in front of your face and be like, I'm walking around Tokyo and like literally see your path throughout Tokyo like as you would POV.
That's really cool. I'll eventually get there because I really like doing this. I find it very motivating and I love merch and I like the idea of earning merch.
Yeah.
Um, they just started like doing artists, like there's a Van Gogh one and a Frida Kahlo one
Mm.
and a Klimt one, Gustav Klimt. So I'll eventually, I'm working my way through. So I'm having, but we're having fun with it. It's a lot of fun,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how are you otherwise?
I'm good. I just got back from a mini vacation to visit my cousins in Pennsylvania,
Nice.
and one of the things I finally got to do that I have been it's one of those things that like it's something you want to do, but like you kind of
Cow
have in your
tipping.
back pocket. No, I wish. I went to a dead mall, and
Ooh,
that was really fun. The South Mall, if you're ever in Allentown, Pennsylvania, it's small. It's not a huge mall, but it's pretty dead. Um, I'm gonna
wow.
send you a picture.
How many empty storefronts do you see?
There were quite a few. There were a lot,
So
and the
was there
places
any
that
other foot
weren't
traffic besides you?
mall walkers, just older
That's it.
people. Um, there were a couple places like in the front of the mall that were like there was like a pizzeria and a hot dog place
Yeah.
that were open, but like that was it. And then there was like an arcade, but then someone told me like it was like seeing an oasis. So it's like, oh my god, like this arcade.
Wow.
And someone was like, "Oh yeah, no, that arcade's closing down in like a month." Like,
Of
oh,
course.
there's like an
It's
antique
really like
store. Like,
seeing the like the death of what we were told modernity would be. Because like this was
yeah.
supposed to be the new town square. This was supposed to be the new bazaar in our world. And now it's just empty shells.
So I just sent you a photo. Actually, no, I just sent it to Emilio by accent. Once I'm going to send you a photo that basically epitomizes
Okay.
the how like one how stuck in time this mall is, and two just how like dead and empty it is. Like this is like the back rooms.
Dead
Like if
and
the
empty.
back
What is it,
rooms
my
was
heart?
a like if this was the back rooms, like this is it.
Oh wow. Yeah, this is the back rooms.
It's basically why I
Look
just
at the
said it was
floor tiles, man.
yeah, it's like old floor tiles, like faded pink and teal, like formica
This is like
tables.
this this is from 1986.
And behind the because it's just like a big space in the mall where they got some tables set up for you to eat, but no one's sitting out there. It's completely empty.
Yeah.
Teal and very faded pink formica tables, and then in the background is a very faded sign for a day spa.
Yeah. With nothing is oh geez. Wow. Yeah, man. That's
There were
awesome.
there were like
Did you
rides
go
in
by
there.
yourself or did you go with anybody?
Oh, I went by myself. I had a couple hours to kill, so I was
Were
like,
you
I'm
were
fucking
you
going
mall
to the
walking
mall.
for your Conquer app?
Yes, I was.
That's got to be the next one. Come on, Conquer app. Do back rooms.
Yeah, here, let me send you a couple more because like this was really like you want to see faded '90s ephemera. Yeah, I'll even throw in this like there was a comic book store that was closed,
Yeah.
but it would have opened if I had stayed longer. I kind of wish I had because like this looks like a relic of like something you would see in like fucking mall rats.
You know what I've always wanted to do an episode on? The Tim and Eric movie. Because it's
Oh
about
yes,
this.
that is yes.
It's about this. Um, Dino's Pizzeria. Wow.
Look at all. There's like five different fonts
A
on that
hair.
directory, son.
I know. South Mall. Oh, that's some Comic Sans up top, huh?
Yeah. What's not even Comic Sans? It's like that wacky, like Clapsley Koopsa, like the
Oh
fucking
yeah.
the logo at the end of Rugrats and like all those shows.
Jeez. What's this? Dragon Knight? The fuck is
Yeah,
that?
that was like a comic book store,
But it's closed.
but it's closed. But if
What
you
time
look
of
very
day did you go?
closely, I went at like 10:30 in the morning.
But the mall was open.
The mall was open, but stores were not. And this was on a Saturday.
So do you was this store would this store have gotten open or do you think it's just not open?
No, it's open because there's like if you zoom in, there's like stuff inside the store. And then if you zoom in even closer, like through the grate, like
You
there's
see an
little lights
entity.
on in there. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you see the bye bye man.
Wow. That is crazy.
But it all looked but like it was an aggressively 90s mall.
Wow. Yes, I could see that. I could see that. That's fun, man. That is fun.
That's fun. And then you know what was right outside the mall? A
What?
Taco Bell.
Yeah, I love some Taco Bell.
The standalone Taco Bell. Ugh.
They got
It's
some new variation on the Mexican pizza, but it seems to be very reliant on like verde sauce, and I'm not a big fan of that.
I'm not a fan of the Verde. I know what you're talking about. I saw it because Taco Bell, I don't eat, I've cut out mostly all fast food. I
Nice.
say mostly because Taco Bell is like the one place where it's like if you have a craving, that will hit the spot and not completely blow up your
Yeah.
day or whatever you're going for.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not even doing like rice and beans, but I'll go like I went there that day, and was just like, yeah, give me like a bunch of like chicken and steak and like cheese and lettuce, tomato, sour cream or whatever, and just I'll
Nice.
put some hot sauce on it and you're good to go.
All right, let's mosey on over to the trailer corner. We're looking at four trailers today. Um, let's talk about Wonka's Golden Ticket.
Hated it.
Tell me about it.
It looked like if you didn't already know from the trailer that this was like a Netflix production and you just watched it sight unseen and someone said, where is this airing? You go Netflix.
Right. That's a very interesting point.
It's
Yes.
got that very cheap looking but very like bright Netflix house
Yeah.
style that they seem to have.
And it's not clear what it is. They say it's a challenge. It looks like a reality show or a game show, but we're in Willy Wonka's factory, and it's trying very hard to look like the Gene Wilder movie.
And who's playing Willy Wonka?
All right, so this is what's crazy. In the trailer, it sounds like just some guy doing a high pitched voice.
Right.
But I read that Gene Wilder's family has said they could use AI to do his voice.
Oh, I don't like that.
No, I don't like that either. I also don't like that that new Val Kilmer movie with him in it,
But
AI.
but the Gene Wilder one especially, it's like this was a property based on a book.
Yeah,
And his version of it was one interpretation of that book. It does not need to be like I
yeah,
don't like the Tim Burton movie,
yeah.
but I give it all the credit in the world for doing something completely different and sticking more to the book.
Let me tell you
Like
something.
do
I
you
liked that
carve your
Timothy
own lane.
Chalamet movie. I liked it.
Okay.
I'm
I
not
didn't see
afraid.
it,
I'm
so
not
I
afraid to
can't
say it.
even.
I'm not afraid to say it, Vin. No, I just don't fucking like AI, man. I know this comes up all the time, PCMC, and of course it does. But like, this is like what we don't need AI for. Because you know what? Even if it sounds like him, he was an artist, he was an actor, he was making choices with his voice. It's not him. He's not making choices.
He is dead. I don't care if
Yes.
it's his. I don't care if it's his family. He himself cannot consent to this.
Yeah, and
If
that's by
he,
the way
if,
what they always do now with the marketing. They
yes,
always go, "Oh, his family told get like I don't give a
great.
shit that his family
You
gave
gave the
you."
family $2 million, and they said yes.
Yeah, right.
I
No,
might
I don't care.
admittedly, I might if you came to me and said like we're gonna reanimate your grandma in AI because we need her for something. Here's $5 million. I would go, okay, I'll
Yeah,
live with it. I
because
don't like it, but I will live
because
with
there's
it.
no victim other than like art,
Yeah.
like right, and then you walk away with some money. Um, no, it's bullshit.
And can
But
we
so
stop with all the fucking AI flyers? They look exactly the same.
oh, they're
You're not
horrible.
fucking fooling everyone.
They're
The
horrible.
same fucking frayed. Oh,
But Vin, what is the gameplay of this show?
I don't know. Like, are people gonna die? Are they gonna like?
Well, they do see people are eliminated, and I guess
Yeah.
you're gonna get eliminated in a way where they do a little oomta loomta song.
Are they gonna? Okay, so that's the other thing I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Are there gonna be actual Oompa Loompas? Like, are they gonna?
It
Are they
will
gonna
be
hire
actual
a bunch
little
of little
people playing
people?
them, or will it be CG little people,
Will
or
it just be Deep Roy?
Deep Roy? No, it's not going to be Deep Roy because it's trying. It seems to be very much trying to look like the Gene Wilder movie.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Um,
like the room itself looks like the room when he opens up, and it's like the chocolate river and that
I
whole
feel like
thing.
this could be a cool idea if it were like Legends of the Hidden Temple, but I feel like it's probably more going to be like a fucking escape room. You know what I mean? Like something really lame.
I even think you're giving it too much credit. I think there's gonna be much more like Wonka trivia involved.
Oh, you think so? Oh, see, I see it. I thought of it as being more because they don't show any of it, by the way, folks. They just show the
No,
sets. So I imagined it would be more like physical, like
but like, what
like
could they? But see, that's my
here's the
contention with
chocolate
it.
river, swim through the chocolate river and get the flag or whatever. I don't
Well, see,
know.
that's my contention with it because like it wasn't a physical movie. Like there wasn't a whole lot of it. They literally walk from one fucking room to the next. Like,
Right,
wait, I'll wear this big balloon suit and try not to get popped. Like, don't get
right.
popped by the fan.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
that's that's got to be one of them. It's gonna be that shit. It's gonna be that
yeah,
shit. It's gonna be all everyone swim in the thing and don't get sucked into the fucking whatever.
some partner's gonna get. They're gonna wear these big juice suits, and it's gonna like you have to juice your blueberry
Yeah.
partner.
Are you a bad egg? We'll see on today's challenge. Um, will I watch one episode to just get my eyes on it? Sure,
Yeah,
sure. Do do it's funny when you like I don't know. We've been talking about this a lot because we recently did an episode of Masters of the Universe, and this is the summer of like indie horror movies doing really well. Indie horror movies that are like creepypasta movies doing well, and then like Masters of the Universe and Star Wars failing. So it's a weird
yeah.
summer, but like, what
Because the
is the
hype is
cachet
in.
for Willy Wonka as an IP?
Yeah. Well, again, it could be a good cachet if you do so. Like, this is indicative of what you just talked about, where it's a bigger problem. Where for years and years and years now, like 20 fucking years, Hollywood has catered to specifically people who grew up in the late 70s to early to mid 90s.
Right.
And they did that 20 years ago. It has been 20 years since, and they don't have a new fucking game plan. So now all
No, they
those people
exactly right.
who already got their fill, they got 20 years of their fill. Now are like, I'm good.
Well, and I think the reason superheroes aren't doing as well as they were, besides the Marvel fatigue, is that if you're like 20 now, you grew up with it, so to you it's baby shit. So
Yeah.
you're like, I don't want this. Like this, you have to be an adult to want the nostalgia. But if you're
Yeah.
becoming an adult, you were like, I don't want to watch
You're interested in the
Iron
back
Man.
rooms now and
Yeah,
Oblivion, like all these
yeah.
other movies.
All right. So the next trailer we looked at was for a show that's coming out at the end of this month. Batman Cape Crusader season 2. Did you see
I
season 1?
Yes, I really liked season one. I thought
Yes,
it
I
was
did
like
too.
this was an example of something that was like a good update because I think a lot of people because it's got like Bruce Timm behind it,
And it looks a lot
uh,
like it.
and it looks a lot like it, but obviously it's not gonna have Kevin
Right, because he passed
uh
away.
yeah Kevin Conroy, and it does enough new that I appreciated. It felt like the stuff that they were putting in that was familiar to me was more of a nod than just a full scale like, hey, look at this thing from your childhood.
Yeah, it felt like, well, like, so originally they had wanted it to be just more Batman animated series. And Bruce Timm said no, but he said, I could give you like something else. I could give you like a remix of it. And that's kind of what it is. Like, what I think is really interesting is like season 1 had a female penguin.
Yeah,
Like, it's literally like a remix. Like, in this
and
trailer,
it's
we
more,
see,
and they do the thing where it's like more small scale crime
yes,
in a lot of the
yes.
episodes.
In this trailer we see like Harley Quinn, but she's looks completely different. She looks like gold and white. She's not
Mm-hmm.
red at all. And we see a very cool looking Poison Ivy. It look
Yeah,
I really like the interesting changes it makes. And it does look like they're introducing a Joker in this, which I guess is inevitable. But we'll see what they do. They also seems to have a Riddler who looks more like a gangster than he's ever
yeah.
been.
Well, that again, that's what I like about it, is that they seem to be really honing in on like Batman. because for a long time, people got really villain happy with Batman, where
Yes.
it's like we got focus. Even the Nolan movies, like I love them, but
Yeah.
like the big thing, at least from the public's perception, was like, oh, who's gonna be the big villain in this movie?
Right.
And I'm glad they're kind of walking, even in the Matt Reeves Batman
Yeah.
movie, which I really like. I think
Yes, me
that
too.
the more time passes, the more I'm like, this is like an S tier Batman adventure.
Yeah.
Um, and it's because yes, the Riddler's in it, but it's way more like again they do a younger Batman, so it helps. But like it's way more about him like fighting like the gritty, like grimy like thugs of the city,
Yes.
as opposed to like the big comical villains.
Yeah. I mean,
And that's what this show does.
yeah, yeah. I I think Batman, sometimes there's things that I think they do tons of spin-offs of, and it's like it's not there to do it. But Batman, I think, is a just extremely rich thing. Um, I mean, we're talking about Gotham. I thought that the Penguin show was really good.
Yeah.
Like better than I thought it was gonna be. So I'm for this, and I think another thing that it does that he wanted to do with animated series but wasn't allowed to was make it more serialized.
Yes.
And that's what you saw in the first season, and I think that's what you're gonna see more. You're gonna see again now of like it's not just these little one-offs like they were forced to do on Fox Kids. Like he can make a larger tale.
Yeah.
And I also like he kind of has that 50s Batman look of like the ears kind of coming out a little bit.
Mm.
It's a small thing, but it's enough of a difference that it reminds you of something in the past.
Oh yeah, and they lean into like the Gotham version they have here is I know the Bruce Timm one originally was based on this a lot too, but the Bruce Timm one was based on the Tim Burton one, which was like a good like updated 1940s look.
Yeah.
This is like full steam ahead into the 1940s.
Right. That was like a vague, we can make it look like that architecture, but you don't want to confuse kids.
Yeah,
Where this is like, this takes place in the past.
yeah.
Right. Yeah. Ah, boy. So the next one I want to talk about is Digger.
Okay, good. Because what the fuck is this?
Right. So there's two teasers for Digger out, and one is they're basically the same, but one has a supercut of Tom Cruise in his whole career. Like, and I saw this in the theater, which is even more bizarre. I,
I don't know what this was. I watched this
it's some
3 times.
stupid comedy,
Yeah.
but they're being like, hey, who's the greatest ever? Tom Cruise. Well, this is the pinnacle. It's really like saying this is the pinnacle of this man's entire life. Are you ready for this? And it just looks like some dumb comedy.
Yeah.
But this trailer, which is I think they call it like career retrospective or tribute or whatever, it's just a supercut of him in every other movie he's ever made. And I mean, what shouts we don't have faith in what we are more than this?
I was just about to, that's basically the exact point I was about to make because in an era where having a name as an actor is worth less than ever,
Yeah.
this screamed of like, we just don't know how to sell this movie.
Yeah,
Because I
at
know
all.
what people are going to do. They're going to be like, oh, well, wasn't it like a fun, no, it wasn't. Because there was no real like joke at the end of it. It wasn't like you've seen him in Jerry Maguire and Days of Thunder and like all these other things, Top Gun. But then you never seen him like this. And then like there was like a big punchline at the end of it.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like more mystery. Like,
Yeah.
oh, well, I
And he's
wish you would've
dancing
spent the last-
around. I'm
Yeah, but I
sorry.
wish you would have spent that like minute and a half just giving me
Showing me a
more
movie, showing me a
because
trailer.
you know what would have been worth more is if you let me know Tom Cruise is in the movie because I'm not a fucking idiot. I'll know it's him if I see him. And then you spend the next minute and a half showing me him in a situation I've never seen him in. Then I'll go, oh my God, like, did you see that Tom Cruise trailer? You won't
Right.
believe what he's doing in this.
Right. This is something so cynical about it and sad about it. This could be like the worst trailer of all time. I couldn't when I first saw it, I was like, "What? This is a fan video?" I couldn't believe that this was an actual trailer that was put out for a motion picture. I couldn't believe it. And by the way, look, I know people love Tropic Thunder. I don't think Tom Cruise can do comedy. I don't think he's funny at all. I
Yeah.
think to be funny, you have to understand the world, and he's such an alien who lives in his own weird world. He doesn't have the ability to be funny.
You can tell. So I just looked up the premise of this movie online,
Yeah.
and you can tell this is going to be a bad movie because you know when they let me tell you the premise first. The
Okay.
most powerful man in the world races to prove he's humanity's savior before the disaster he unleashed destroys everything. That to me says again, you're not telling us more about this movie because you're not confident in it.
Yeah. Also, I don't remember who said this. I'm classic for quoting people that I don't remember who said it, but I always give credit as it not being mine. I saw somebody online saying the fact that it has like a log line that says like an apocalyptic comedy or whatever, it's never a good sign when you have to tell me it's a comedy.
Yeah.
Like, and also like, and from the little bit, it's like you couldn't be more like from the little bit that's actual new footage. It feels like it's trying to be like Doctor Strangelove, like it's trying to be Kubrickian.
Right. Like this is serious comedy, but he's a wacky guy.
Yeah,
He's
fuck
got
this movie.
power, but he's gonna undercut it all by being a crazy dude.
I think he's been in great movies, but I've never loved him. He's never drawn me in any way. I've there's been things I've been like, yeah, that was a good job, but I've rarely
I've
ever
never
thought,
gone to a movie just because I heard Tom Cruise is in it.
no, no. I and he has, one of the cool things that happens with artists is they age, and like you look at like
He's
older
afraid to
actors.
age.
Right. He's used magic or science or whatever to not age. So he's deprived himself of a third act in a way.
Yeah. How old is he right now? Let's play that game that we play every once in a while. How old do you think Tom Cruise is?
67.
64.
Ooh.
But yeah, I'm looking at a
Yeah.
picture of him. This is a picture of him from this year.
Yeah. Yeah. He accomplished what Michael Jackson wanted to.
Yeah. Like that's a 64-year-old man, I guess, if you have the money and
Right.
hair. Like,
So if that's what you look like, and he doesn't look as crazy as Michael Jackson looked, right? Obviously,
no.
he was misguided. Where Cruz obviously has better people around him. But how can you even play a human? Like who? Like he's gonna play 40-year-olds for the rest of his like it just you become so divorced from reality. Anyway, fuck this movie. The last trailer we looked at was a documentary called We Are Pat,
This
which
I'm way more fascinated by.
me too. It's a documentary made by, I believe, a genderqueer director. Um, well, I think I'm not sure how the director identifies, but if you don't know Pat was in the 90s. SNL was all about its characters and like having catchphrases and every week getting the character you want. So like whether it be Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World or the
Making
copier
copies
guy.
guy.
Say it again.
No, I was saying the making copies guy.
Yeah, the making copies guy or church lady. There was a character named Pat, played by a female performer.
Julia Sweeney.
Um, yes, Julia Sweeney.
Yeah.
And the whole joke, the entire joke, was that the people around Pat could not guess their gender.
Yeah. Pat
And
would wear
and
like thick Coke bottle glasses and like a like rodeo style shirt.
right, and spoke in a high pitched voice, and it's a. I mean, is it a good performance? It's
Well,
good in that it
yeah,
does.
it does what
You
it's
can
supposed to.
read it both ways, but never in the world of these sketches does anyone just say that there's a such thing as gender queerness. And
Yeah.
also, like, it's always the joke is always like everyone could and no one can figure it out, and they're trying to get Pat. Like, oh, Pat, we're having a Halloween party. The women are bringing hors d'oeuvres and the men are bringing liquor.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna bring?
I'm gonna bring myself.
Yeah, and it's like, and then the movie stars Charles Rocket as a person who literally loses his mind and goes insane trying to figure out what gender Pat is. It's a perfect example, by the way, of like I guess conservatives because they're so obsessed with what's in people's pants and what
Yeah.
they do in the bathroom. It's all they can think about. So Pat's super problematic now, but it's this genderqueer filmmaker or queer filmmaker. I don't know. I haven't watched the movie yet, and I don't know the director. Talking about how like they feel like Pat, they still find Pat entertaining, and when they saw Pat as a kid, there was something about Pat that they saw themselves in. So it looks like a kind of love letter, but also like a real examination of why this was a thing at
Yeah.
all. Um, Pat really is a relic of the 90s, right? Like it is
Yeah.
not, it is aged like milk.
You know who did a draft of that movie?
Yeah, the absolute fucking worst, Quentin Tarantino.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was dating Julia Sweeney. I don't know if it was
Hmm.
before or after or what. That movie is fucking terrible.
It's not a great. It's no Stewart Saves His Family.
I like Stuart Saves His Family. I know it
I
was a huge failure. I always thought it was
No,
good.
I it was a good. It's a good movie.
It's a
Stewart Saves His
genuine
Family is
dramedy.
genuine. Yes.
It's Pat. I don't think he did. It's Pat even have a theatrical release?
Oh yeah, no, it did.
It did. God, let's see what the
The
current Rotten Tomato score is on It's Pat. Let's let's see. Let's take a It's Pat. Um, ooh, what do you guess, Vin?
Rotten Tomato score.
Yeah,
Oof. Because now I'm trying to think, is it going to be better or worse than I expect it to be?
because it's an
I'm
old.
gonna.
Yeah,
Oh no, were you about to say because it's an old movie? It probably doesn't have that many.
no, it has probably every major newspaper at the time. There's 11 reviews here.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna put the over under at 5%.
It's a rare zero.
Wow.
0%. Now there's 5,000 user ratings, but
Oh,
we're 30.
okay?
Real bad stuff. Real hard stuff.
That's
Yeah.
still technically like a 600% increase.
Yes. Wow. It's amazing that this movie's really forgotten because when you look at Rotten Tomatoes, they'll add later retrospective
Oh
reviews, right?
yeah.
That means no one's really even thought about this movie since it came out.
Well, it's I can see how it gets lost in the shuffle of like bad and cult movies because it's not good enough to have that like to have picked up that cult following. And it's such a product of its time where unless you're like younger people probably have no fucking clue about its Pat. But like probably you, me, and people up to like, 10 to 15 years older than us, that was probably in their zeitgeist of like, early 90s SNL.
One of these critics from 26 years ago is something called efilmcritic.com, which must not exist because I clicked on it and it brought me to some cam porn site.
Okay.
The reason I clicked on it, by the way, was 26 years ago, this critic wrote, I can't even dignify this film with a review. So it's like, is there really no review? Then it says, there was a link that says go to full
Yeah.
review. Click on that link. It bounces around a couple different domains. We're up to fourth domain here.
Oh my god.
Oh, now I don't know what the fuck this is. No, this isn't porn. This is something else. This is just some weird spam. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Somebody said 21 years ago, the Mountain Express from Asheville, North Carolina said, Dear God, dot, dot, dot.
See that and the other one you just read. I don't like those because I don't like when people pull this like it's so bad I didn't even have anything to write. It's like, well, that's your fucking job. So figure
Right.
out
No,
something
there's no
else.
integrity in not reviewing a film where
This
that
is
was your
like
job to review it.
this is like I always go to this example, but it's never not the correct example. When the Angry Video Game Nerd put out a video
Yeah.
when he was like when the 2016 Ghostbusters came out was like,
Yep.
I'm just not gonna review it. But you
So
putting out a
brave.
video, exactly. First of all, so brave. Second, you putting out a video talking about why you're not going to see it is itself a review of the film. You didn't see the film,
Right.
but you're signaling to your audience that this movie is not worth seeing. You could have not done any video. That same year, RoboCop remake came out. You didn't fucking put out a video saying you weren't going to see that because it ruined your
Well, it's
childhood.
not a lady RoboCop.
Oh, excuse me.
Ill, gross ladies.
Yeah.
Gross. All right. I've had enough of this. Let's take a break. We'll come back with the chill sesh. Welcome back to PCMC Pop Culture Man Children. This is the chill sesh. This is the shesh where we chill. Vin, what have you been chilling with? What have you been reading, watching, listening to, playing?
I've been I've been getting into mobile gaming for some reason.
Okay,
Because I used to play some games on my mobile phone, but
sure.
then like I just fell out of it because you know a lot of mobile games it's like they got that like like play to win kind of shit going
Right.
on where it's like every time you see a game where it's like, oh, this is kind of interesting, then it's like, oh, you're timed out for the next 3 days unless you pay us money. It's like,
They
okay,
get you addicted,
they
and
they
then
give you a little taste.
yeah, yeah, like or sometimes there'll be a game where it's like you could beat the first 5 levels, but then it's just
Yeah.
literally impossible to beat the sixth level without you paying to get some sort of upgrade.
Yes. But I've been getting back into it because I'm like, there's got to be some games that are like either have a good balance or,
Yeah.
whatever. I've been playing a lot of Bejeweled, which is like a match three puzzle game.
Oh, I'm familiar with it. I don't play it, but I'm familiar with it.
Oh, yeah, I love it. And that's one where you can pay for it, but it's only a couple bucks to get everything. But
Okay.
then, like, even if you, like, I don't pay for it and it's just you get an ad after your game is over. So like you
Okay.
could be playing for like a half hour and then okay, you get an ad and then you could play again. Which is like that's completely I like that.
So what do
Like
you do? Do you do it on the toilet? Do you do it before
I do it
bed?
laying in bed. I do it a lot like before bed.
Do you listen to something
Um
while you're doing it?
yeah, a lot of times I'll like put on like a YouTube video or like I've been watching a lot of this guy camping with Steve, the
Okay.
guy who does stealth camping. Where he'll just like camp, he'll be like, oh, like today I'm camping in this bush enclave in the middle of a highway meridian. And it's like great. And he's always worried about getting caught, but he lives in Canada where they're gonna like do nothing to him.
Yeah, it's
Like
fun.
whenever he's crossing the street, he's like, okay, there's no cars, I gotta run. It's like, no, you don't.
Yeah, this
Nobody's
is
looking at
Canada.
you. He's like, people are gonna see me with this big backpack, and they're
Stealth
gonna think I'm doing something
camping.
stealthy. Yeah. And then I'm also reading. Um, I'm
Tell me.
reading a book on Van Halen, called "Everybody Wants
Yeah.
Some" by Ian Christie, with about the Van Halen saga. Um, and that's
All
fascinating
right,
because they're all
Vin.
fat. Yeah. I know David Lee Roth is the thing I'm getting from this book thus far is
Yeah.
that David Lee Roth is a very charismatic. He's the kind of guy that's like I could see someone meeting him and being like, "Oh wow, it's Diamond Dave! Like, what's going on?" Like,
Yeah.
and he's probably very charismatic. But then, like, if you hang out with him long enough, you're like, "When's this fucking guy gonna leave?"
Yeah, he seems shitty. Remember when he replaced Howard Stern on terrestrial radio?
Boy, do I! I wrote a whole article about that. Go to vinforte.substack.com to read that, and just look
Nice.
up Howard Stern, and you'll find it. But yeah, as a big radio person growing up, I remember that. Do you remember the end of his run on radio?
No.
Okay,
What did he
so
have a long run?
not at all. It lasted like a month.
Okay. To
Lasted.
the end of
Oh,
the month.
it lasted like 2 months. It was basically so he replaced. People don't know when Howard Stern went to satellite at the end of 2005. That January, which is normally when radio stations do a lot of their big changes, the station he was on here in New York and other stations. Well, the station he was K Rock radio station. As a reaction to him leaving, they flipped formats to an all like hot talk station
Uh-huh.
and they replaced him in New York and a bunch of other big markets with David Lee Roth.
Right.
And
And they gave him a
because
ton of money. It's like everything they should have given to Stern while they had him, they didn't. And they gave it to this idiot.
yeah, they gave it to him and he sucked, but to be fair, they kind of didn't know what to do with him. What he should have done if he really wanted to get into radio and if they wanted to like groom is the wrong word now, but like you know what I'm trying to say, to
Hey.
like prep him for being in that position is they should have given him a music based show where he can just talk a little more
Right.
and like present rock music because like people like Alice Cooper's done a radio show. I don't know if
Yeah.
he does it anymore, but he did a radio show across the country for years. But no, they just thrust him right into the biggest star ever's leaving. and we're
Right.
going to do you. But then near the end of his run, when like the writing was really on the wall, and he knew it, he would literally come into work and read comics out of the newspaper.
Wow.
So he would basically like open up, and that was like the most fascinating stuff because it was clearly him like in defiance of like knowing that they wanted him out because it became pretty clear by the end of that like 2 month period or wherever it was
Wow.
that they really wanted Opie and Anthony, and that
Right.
David Lee Roth was basically the fall guy. And the reason they brought him in as the fall guy and were willing to pay him all that money is because when you're replacing someone as big as Howard Stern, regardless of what you think of him as a person, um, you never want to be the guy to replace the guy because then you're going to be
Right.
compared to the guy.
Yeah.
But if you can be the guy who replaces the guy that we don't like that replaced the
Right.
guy,
Yeah.
now you're being compared to David Lee Roth and not Howard Stern.
Right.
So he was the
So, but
fall
you
guy.
so do you really? That's really what it was, or is that
Oh
your
yeah,
belief?
no, it's my belief, but it's also like I would be very, very surprised if the real answer was like, oh yeah, no, we just happened to pick Opie and Ant, like because they had those two guys like ready to go when they were getting rid of David Lee Roth.
Did David Lee Roth do radio anywhere else?
No,
So then, how did his name even come up? Like, that's what's crazy.
I guess I just thought like he's an interesting guy, or it was probably one of those like dumb executive decisions that you always hear where it's like, oh, I heard an interview with this guy, he's got a great persona. He would be great on radio. Like
Yeah.
I heard him on Howard once. Like he should replace him.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Um. So how far are you into that book? It's a good book.
Yeah, I'm about halfway through. Yeah, Van Halen's very, very interesting. And then like speaking of replacements, like, after their biggest album ever, 1984, like
Uh-huh.
David Lee Roth was replaced with
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar.
What are your feelings on him
Um, as a person or just as like the replacement for David Lee
as a
Roth?
replacement, as the
The
band? How
band.
the band afterwards?
Okay, so I think a lot of fans, and I would include myself in this, have come down on this side that if you're talking about the definitive like when you think Van Halen, you think of them with David Lee Roth. There's no question.
Uh-huh.
But to say that they did not have success with Sammy Hagar and to discount their run with him would be very dismissive because they did have hit album. They had like 4 hit albums, like platinum selling albums
With
with
Hagar.
him. Yeah, and they had big hits too. They had like When Love Walks In, Dreams. Like they had a whole bunch of Right Now, which was a huge song, like
Oh
in
yeah.
the early '90s. Like so, they had hit songs, but the style definitely, at least on those first 2 albums, when he came in, got more like ballad based, like more synthesizers, less guitars. And then the '90s, they kind of tried to get more back into guitars. But
Did
yeah,
Roth?
it was just a different vibe.
Did David Lee Roth leave to go do something he wanted to do, or was he kicked out?
He was basically kicked. They basically kicked him out.
So the rest they didn't get along with him.
They just didn't get along, and then they kicked Sammy Hagar out in 1996, and then David Lee Roth. They attempted to have a comeback. They put out a greatest hits album in 1996, and the big draw with that, outside of it genuinely being a well curated collection, that was my entree into Van Halen, and that sold like 1 million units. But on that album, they recorded 2 new songs of David Lee Roth and put them on that album.
Oh,
And they
okay.
were and that was supposed to be like a little taste, like, hey, we're putting these two on the greatest hits set. But now then we're gonna like go on tour, we're gonna have a new album. And very quickly that fell apart. So they never did a new album.
Why did it fall
Like
apart? The same old reasons.
the same old business. But then they got back together in '07, and then they toured until Eddie Van Halen died.
Oh, okay. Interesting. What am I chilling? I last week, me and Jen went to see a play, and we see a lot of Broadway shows, but you know we don't we don't see a lot of plays. I mean, we saw Death of a Salesman, which was incredible, but that's also Broadway. That's a big thing. So we saw a small play. So we saw a play called Dad Don't Read This, and it's kind
Okay.
of it's funny, but it's also sad. It's about 4 teenage girls in the early 2000s, and it's in one of the girls' bedrooms, and it's like a couple different sleepovers, and they are obsessed with the game The Sims
Okay.
to the point where like there's sim sound sometimes and like they do like the fast sims motion in
Mm.
the play, and it's all about like control and having control of your life, and these young people that don't have control of their life but have control of the sims, and how to be, how to become the grim reaper, how to ooh ooh, what do they call sex, woo woo,
Woo woo.
how to woo woo, how to have two gay people woo woo, how to make that happen, or have them try for a baby. I never played, but like there's some. Jen was a Sims person, and she was like, yeah, they were driving some deep Sims lore in here.
Oh
So
yeah.
it was fun to. It was just a really good show, and it had like a dance, and it was just fun. It was like a small little theater. It was in the Greenwich Theater. But like this is a New York Times pick, critics pick, and so I think it's gonna go for a while. And it was just really good. It was just very good, and we were just like, yeah, we need to see more plays because plays are also cheap too.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Now, did this make you want to play The Sims?
that's a great question. It made Jen really want to play The Sims again. I played The Sims. I never played The Sims proper because I never played it on a PC. I played. I forget which console version of The Sims, but I was such a, I don't know, dumb gamer, or like, you know, I was just like, I got what the point of the game was. I'm
Mhm.
not that stupid, but it didn't appeal to me. I was like, I just want a
Yeah.
platformer or to shoot things.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like I had no.
You never did the Sim City games. You're like, I don't want to manage a town. Like,
No, no. I murdered people. You know what I mean? I did that thing right away. Like, oh yeah, I'll put a guy in a room with four walls and no door and watch him die.
well, here's the question: if you're into more like that kind of stuff, like I just want to sort of slip away and mindlessly fight people or whatever. Were you ever into the Grand Theft Auto games? That coming out.
Yeah, I mean, two for sure.
Hmm.
Two, and I was kind of like that because I never beat it. I rarely went on the missions.
Yeah.
I would just, speaking of Howard Stern, I would get up early. I was in college at the time. I would get up early and put on Stern and then just like drive around like I was
Mhm.
cruising or something. Like just drive
Yeah.
around doing crazy shit, not really doing any of the it was actually a really good metaphor for my life at the time, now that I think about it. Just driving around, not going anywhere, not achieving any objective.
Yeah.
Were you a big Grand Theft Auto person?
Yeah, I liked my favorite was Vice City
Was
because
that
I think
which one was that? Was that right after two?
that was right after three.
Right after three?
And that was set in the 80s. It was basically like loosely based on Scarface.
Oh, right. Yes,
Um,
yes.
and people sometimes like discount that, or not discount it, but they go like, "Oh, well, how could that be your favorite? Like the island in that one was so much smaller than the other games." I'm like, but it had way more personality, from like the period specific music on the radio stations to like
Yeah,
all the neon, the outfits, the cars. Like, give me more Grand Theft Autos like that,
yeah.
where like because they did one for PlayStation that wasn't even a full game, and back then it was just like they were top down, like it wasn't 3D yet,
Uh-huh.
because the first two games were like that. And for the original Grand Theft Auto, they did an expansion pack, which was a disc, and it was London. It was London 1968,
Oh, okay.
and the way it worked on your PlayStation is you had to insert the first Grand Theft Auto disc,
Uh-huh.
then take it out and put in the expansion disc, and then it would let you play.
Okay.
And that was interesting.
Interesting.
I wish they had done a 3D one like that, because again, that one had so much personality, like London 1968,
Yeah,
like the
that's
way
really
people
fun.
speak, and like it was a whole other country, and the British invasion during that time. Like there's so much you can
Yeah.
do. But they stopped after Vice City. They never really did. Like I know the new one's gonna be in Miami, so it's kind of like going, or
Yeah.
in Vice City again, so it's kind of going back to that. But it's still modern. Like I would like a
Yeah.
period, another period piece Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I feel you. Um, what consoles do you currently have?
I currently have a Switch. I don't have a Switch 2.
Uh-huh.
And I have my laptop, which I get stuff off Steam.
Okay. Yeah, I have a Switch, the original Switch, and a PS4.
Hmm.
I've not um I've not. I've been interested, very interested in this generation of consoles, but it's just so gosh darn much money. Even Switch 2 is more money. Like what made Switch so great was its affordability and its accessibility and its user it was perfect Nintendo vibe. And
Yeah.
the Switch 2 is like it's just a little too much. And I know I'm missing out on incredible stuff. Um,
Well, you should. Do you not have a Steam account?
no, I don't.
You really should. Like, because it's just on your laptop, on your computer, like wherever. And a lot, like most of the games that come out for these other consoles, like also come out for Steam. It's not like
Uh-huh.
10 years ago. Especially like a lot of the like indie games like come out on Steam first, or they come out in early access
Yeah. So you play it on a PC
on my
or a,
yeah on my laptop.
see, I have a Mac. Is that
Okay, but
good? Does that
you
work?
could, yeah, yeah, they have Steam for a Mac. It's just like in like a desktop client or like the website. You go
Okay.
into like steam.com and you download you basically just buy games there like you would buy them off like the Nintendo eShop.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And they're always having tons of sales too.
On
Like, that's the
Steam?
other good thing about Steam. Like deep discounts. Like sometimes there's games that are like that were originally like 30-40 bucks that then during their sale periods will be like, 5-9 bucks.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Um well, what else am I chilling with? I saw Backrooms. I finally saw Backrooms.
How was
The,
it?
the other day I went to work and after like an hour I was like, I don't want to be here today at all.
I'd rather
So,
live in the back rooms.
yeah, so I took PTO for the rest of the day and I went to see Bathrooms. It was me and like two other people in the theater, like early in the day, middle of the week. I liked it a lot. I mean, it's I'm kind of obsessed with this new like world of like these Gen Z filmmakers, these creepy pasta films. I really liked Obsession. Obsession's a better film than Backrooms, but Backrooms, just the concept. I mean, we were just talking about it before when you were in that dead mall. Just being in the back rooms is so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's just so interesting. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's like a new crowd. Like the person who did back rooms is like 17 years old or some shit. Like,
he's like 20 or 21 now, but he started during the pandemic as a teenager making these things, which is crazy.
yeah, like it's crazy that horror is now coming back around as like the hit thing in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Because these movies, and it just goes to show you, like, these movies cost like almost nothing to make.
Yes.
And it's like, so it's like, why not take more risks on
I think
smaller
they are.
projects?
I
I
think
think they are now.
yeah, I think Sinners kind of opened the door for it.
I
And
was,
yeah.
yeah, like I was looking at because I was interested in that new Godzilla minus zero coming out later this
Yeah.
year, and I was looking up some stuff on Godzilla minus one. And do you know how much that movie cost to
No.
make? $15 million.
Wow.
Like nothing for like a huge. And
For
that
like a
movie
big
apparently,
yeah.
and that movie was like huge globally.
Well, we spend too much money on movies. I mean, it's crazy.
And when you spend that much money, then they have to make back. Like
They
you
have to
hear
make
these
it
so
back twice or triple, whatever the fuck it's supposed to be.
you hear these stories about movies where it's like, oh, it made $400 million worldwide this weekend, and then you hear a story right afterwards like, yeah, too bad. It's like, what do you mean? Like, oh yeah, no, it's only it needs to make back like 3 times that to be. It's like, well, then something's wrong.
Right, exactly. But this is the summer of all of it crashing. The only
Good.
the last test is Spider-Man. If Spider-Man doesn't do good, then this will have been the summer the blockbuster like died.
Yeah, and I'm
Or
sure.
this
Look,
kind of blockbuster.
yeah, and I don't know how this Spider-Man's gonna do. It could really go either way because I love Spider-Man. Um, I I'm gonna see it because I love Spider-Man. But someone told me like 3 weeks ago, oh yeah, Spider-Man, yeah, you going to see Spider-Man later this month? I'm like, oh, it's coming out.
Right. Yeah. Right.
It's
By the
no
way, I should.
longer like remember
Yeah.
when it would be like nobody. I feel like nobody has that feeling anymore of like, oh, it's coming out this summer finally. Then a couple months go by, it's like, We're almost there. We just
Just
gotta wait
me, but
three
I'm an
months.
old person. So I'm in my own world. Like, and I loved Masters of the Universe. I loved Supergirl. I was so, I talked about this in the last podcast. I was so shocked when everyone else didn't. I was like, wow, like, boy, is my finger far from the pulse. I loved it, you know.
Yeah.
And Mandalorian Grogu, I thought was fun. You know, I didn't hate it. It was like, it was fine. It didn't offend me. It didn't hurt me. Uh, you
Well,
know,
that one shouldn't have been a movie. That one was like,
right. But all
ah,
those movies failed
yeah.
basically. Um, I do think, well, I do think that there's a lot of sexism involved in the Supergirl, and also the continued um James Gunn hate by people that have made being fans of Zack Snyder like their personality.
Where are these people in real life? I have never met one of these people in the actual world touching grass. I see them online. I
Yeah,
hear I hear I hear tale of them every once in a while where it's like, all the Snyder fans are coming out of the woodworking.
yeah.
I'm like looking out my window, like where are they? I don't see them.
Maybe we don't go to the right places. Like maybe we need to
Maybe.
like you know
We gotta go to Comic Con this year.
no, I was gonna say something more like, yeah,
We
never
gotta
mind.
storm the Capitol.
Yeah, that's what we gotta do. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back with our current obsessions. Welcome back to PCMC Pop Culture Man Children. This is Obsessions. This is where we talk about the pop culture we're currently obsessed, the thing that it's sort of sticking in our mind. Vin, go first. What are you currently obsessed with?
I am currently obsessed with, big surprise, something wrestling related.
Tell me.
I'm watching a lot of Joshi wrestling.
Tell me about that. What is that?
That is female Japanese wrestling,
Oh, okay.
which is has been growing in popularity for quite some time. Much more hard hitting style than people would think
Uh-huh.
when you say like, oh, women's wrestling. But if you've watched wrestling in America for the past like 10 years specifically, female women's wrestling has like really come leaps and bounds. Like women have wrestled
Really?
have main evented WrestleMania, and like a lot of that style that has influenced the American product has started in Japan, and it's like one of its strongest points right now. And there's a bunch of different promotions over there. There's Stardom, there's Marigold, there's Marvelous, there's Sendai Girls. There's a bunch of
Huh.
other ones. And if anyone wants to check out some of them, like just go online, just look up Joshi Wrestling. Some of and any of the promotion names I mentioned, a lot of them put matches up for free online.
Is that where you see
Um,
it?
yes, and I also have a login that someone gave me for Wrestle Universe, which is a service that has a bunch of different male and female Japanese promotions
Okay.
on it, a streaming service. So I get a lot of stuff through that. Um, and then also I've been getting back into like Lucha Libre wrestling,
Oh, okay.
AAA, CMLL. Yeah, Lucha is definitely like if you there's a promotion called AAA that was recently bought by WWE last year. And to their credit, they have not really like fucked with it that much.
Uh-huh.
I think they know what they have and they want to really like dig into the Mexican market. Um, and it's been really good and they put a lot of it up. They do a weekly program every Saturday night and they play it up for free on their YouTube channel. So that's very accessible. If people want to get into that.
So
Um,
let's say someone was only a fan of WWE.
mhm.
How is Japanese wrestling different or similar?
The pageantry, it's different because of like the pageantry. They treat it more like a real sport. Like in Japan right now in New Japan Pro Wrestling, every year around this time, it's going on this month. They do something called the G1 Climax, where it's basically a month long tournament, a
Okay.
month long round robin tournament, where basically wrestlers are like fighting each other, fighting different people like every day. It's like a big gauntlet kind of thing, and then the winner gets basically a title shot at their biggest show of the year in the Tokyo Dome on January 4th.
Okay. And so how is female different?
It's not as it's different in relation to America
Okay.
In that, again, like a lot of the male Japanese wrestling, there's a lot more pageantry. There's a lot more like style to it. And
Okay.
again, they a lot of promotions, a lot of wrestlers there utilize something called strong style, which
Okay.
is making everything look hard hitting. So it's
Okay.
like when you're punching someone, like you make it really look like you're punching them hard, or like you do these sort of, if you're a junior weight and you're doing like these dazzling moves off the top rope, you really make it look like you're taking someone out.
Is the female wrestling in Japan is is it male gazy? Is it for the male gaze or does it
Yes and no.
okay.
There's some of it that is, there's some of it that isn't. It really just depends on the wrestler. But the fact that they have such a mix,
Uh-huh.
I guess that is where maybe they're more influenced by the American product, where you do have a good mix of female wrestling in America, where in terms of style, you've got people who, show off their bodies more, but then you have women who really like dig in on more like, I'm tough. I don't care what you think of my body. I'm
Okay.
just here to come in and beat your ass.
Are there any that are like, very, very muscular or overweight?
Oh yeah, no, they're
They're not
yeah,
all like,
they're not all like wayfish, like small, like
because I have very little reference to this, but I remember like the female wrestlers in WWE in like the 90s were all like kind of like bombshell women.
yeah, yeah, and they barely let them wrestle. They were more just like figure. Like that's
Yeah.
why China was such a big deal, because
Okay,
China would
yeah.
come in and she actually felt like they were presenting her as like a wrestler.
Who was the other one? The other big one that
Trish
all the
Stratus,
boys liked?
Trish Stratus, Mickey James, Sable.
Sable. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Um, is there where you watch it, is there any dialogue that is subtitled or you don't need it at all? It's just so physical.
You don't really need it. It's more physical. A lot of promotions like New Japan and Stardom, like they do offer English commentary, and especially
Okay.
with something like New Japan, like they've been doing English commentary for like 10 plus years now. Like because a
Oh,
lot of these
okay.
promotions they do recognize that it's more like a global thing now. So a
Okay.
lot of them, when they get big enough, they do employ.
Will the commentators comment? I don't know why I can't say the word. Will they like translate and be like, "Oh, he's saying this"?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay. Very cool. So my obsession is from the final season of the show The Bear and from the final episode, the finale of The Bear. So if you don't want any spoilers for that, it was great having you. This is the end of the show. See you next week. Um, so I thought it was a very good. People have talked about like whether it's gone up and down in uh quality. I do think that the last season wasn't the greatest. Um, but this season I think was very, very strong. And partly because they steal the format for the most part, they steal the format from another new hit show, The Pit, which is every episode is just more of one night in
Mm.
service in this restaurant. But the thing that really got me and like made me misty eyed was there was a character last season named Albert who was played by Rob Reiner. And he was like a business kind of guru guy. And one of the characters on the show, Ibra, played by Edwin Lee Gibson, he gives him the idea of like you should franchise one part of the restaurant, the part that makes like the beef sandwiches.
Mhm.
Um, so he's not in the season at all. And obviously Rob Reiner passed away. Um, but in the last episode, they decided they're gonna do that. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do this franchise, and it's gonna help the business, and it's got a happy ending. But we see a scene where he's talking to Albert on the phone, but we don't hear the other side. But he's blah blah blah, and then the last thing he says is "as you wish," which is an homage to Rob Reiner's The Princess Bride,
Mm.
where in that "as you wish" meant "I love you." And I thought it was such a beautiful, uh, yet subtle, way of honoring him.
Oh yeah, because it's not in your face. If you don't know, you don't know, and it doesn't matter that you don't know.
Right. And he'd be like, okay, he's just saying as you wish. You would think that he's just asking him, can you do this or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was beautiful because I love The Princess Bride. I think it's such a comfort movie. So I thought it was a really classy way, especially in the finale of the whole show. There's a lot going on in this last episode, but the fact that they took the time to, homage him, I thought that was awesome.
Didn't he also? I haven't seen it yet, but I think he showed Robert Arnold shows up in the new Larry David
Yes, he
series.
does as George Washington.
Oh,
There's a very funny sketch, which is Washington's like, I am going to step down from presidency. And, I think that presidents who come after me should also have limited terms. And Larry David's just a guy in the crowd. And he's like, yeah, but what if you're like an asshole and you don't want to step down? And he's like, what kind of man would actually be that way? And he's like, well, what if your best friend is a pedophile? And you don't want people talking about that he's a pedophile, so you kind of do this, and he just basically starts describing Trump, and
yeah.
everyone's like, "Wow, that's horrible." And George Washington's like, "I don't, that's far fetched that anybody could be such. Who could be that way?" and uh, then there's a cameo from Jimmy Kimmel,
Hmm.
and he's like, "I don't believe someone could be that way. To be that offended by someone saying something about them on TV, they'd have to be a giant baby." So it the whole thing's very funny. It's actually not as political as you think it would be, but that sketch, which I think is in the second episode, is the biggest like fuck Trump sketch.
Yeah.
There is another good sketch where he is playing someone who ran for president. And this is a real person who ran for president. I don't remember when, and won the popular vote, but lost because the electoral college. And I guess he was the first person to do that. And he just flips out. He's like, I won. What do you mean? I won. More people voted for me. And
Yeah.
then someone's like, well, sir, you have to understand the electoral college difference. And they explain it. And he's like, that makes no fucking sense. How could this be?
It doesn't because it's supposed to be. And people forget that we are a representative government, so the electoral college represents the states and the but it feels outmoded. It feels like, and I don't even know if this is the real reason, but you could see how that makes sense when you don't know where anyone else is in relation to you in the country. You know what I mean? Like, like if you're all the way back then when the country was founded, and like you don't know what the fuck is out
Well,
there. You don't know how many.
land doesn't vote.
If
People vote.
yeah, and like you don't know how. Like if you're in New York at that time, you don't know how many people in Delaware there are. So it's like it kind of makes sense. Like, oh, we're gonna get the current census and delegate people to represent those areas, and then the people who win those. Like I see where the logic is, but in 2026, when there's a fucking camera on every phone, when everything is calculated, when we know exactly how many people are where, what sense does it make to have like, oh, New York gets 5 representatives and then Pennsylvania gets 1 representative and this place gets 3 representatives? It's like, how are we even calculating this anymore? And then we're gonna and every once in a while they add a representative or like take one away based on the population. It's like, how about we just get rid of that altogether and have the population count?
Because this only ever happens to Republicans. Like, it's only Democrats that win the popular vote and then don't get to win the election.
Yeah.
So, it's going to stay in place so corporations can have their party in and have
I actually
greater
like what we
hegemonic control.
I actually really like what we started doing in New York with the ranked choice.
Yes,
Because
I
it's like
agree.
you know what? For people who don't know what ranked choice voting, because it's not everywhere, it is like a fairly recent thing.
Yeah.
Is basically, let's say you've got a mayoral election coming up and you've got a primary. Um, Instead of just voting for one person, maybe you see 2 people that you like, but you just like this guy a little bit more. Then you know what? You can say, I'm going to vote for these 2 people, but I'm going to put this guy as my first choice and this person as my second choice.
Right.
Therefore, letting the government basically know, hey, if this guy doesn't get it, throw my vote to this guy. And you
But
can not put
yeah,
anyone in there. So you can literally choose, like, out of 8 people, I like these 2, and then you rank them. And that way, we don't have a situation where it's like, well, I guess we gotta vote for this guy because he's the only one. It's like, no,
right.
you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
We're not a
Yeah.
political podcast.
Yeah, I know. Uh I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you. We live in a nightmare. All right, so
Did
this
you?
has
Oh
been
no, well, let's not get more political. I was giving away our political topic.
oh, this has been PCMC Pop Culture Man Children. We are a podcast that is your one-stop shop for non-toxic fandom and pop culture ephemera. From the old to the new, the retro to the contemporary. We talk about everything, except really sports. Don't really come up unless someone like Vin brings it up. So that's good. We come out every single Wednesday. We have since the dawn of man, and we will until the sun burns us out. Vin, thank you so much for being here. We end every episode by saying,
Go bye bye.